What do you think some reasons are that people are hesitant maybe to join a team when they get into real estate? Because I would argue that the most common way still is to be a solo agent, right? Getting into the industry. What are any of those concerns you think that maybe you had or others have that keep them from maybe considering that as an option?
Obviously, it's hard when you don't have a ton of income coming in because you're like, oh my gosh, the splits. It's not about the splits, right? And not every team is right for every agent, right? Like, so if you are like, I just need leads, but not back end, or I need systems and back end, but don't worry about the leads, right? You have to find the team that is right for you, right? Is it a
Yeah.
mixture? Is it both? Because some people just don't like to do this alone, right? Like for me, it was helpful to have team members, have a leader, accountability. And a lot of people I feel like join teams because they don't want to do paperwork. I actually love paperwork, but like I remember my team lead at the time, like we had to recite, not totally recite the contract, but I mean, I had to explain it to her. Like she made me read it. She was like, okay, explain it to me like a golden retriever, and I had to explain it to her. So I think a lot of times people get in the way of like the splits and what that means, but really, like, I would rather split a commission with someone than have no commission at all. You have to stop and educate them. So all of my clients are like, hey, you're the expert, but half the time they'll text me and be like, hey, I think this is a good deal. Can you just confirm, like, should we go look at it? Right. And so you have to just, as much as they qualify us to be their real estate agent, you have to qualify them as an investor. Like, because if they don't have their stuff together or they need education, I need to understand that at the beginning.
Yeah.
And I never turn a client away, but I just need to understand, like, hey, before I take you out shopping or before I ever write an offer for you, kind of like a buyer's agent consultation in a different way. Like, how are you paying for this? What are your expectations? Like, are you thinking that you're going to buy, you know, some house in a certain area at a certain price? Because if that's the case, like, that's not happening. And so I just need to, like, say, like, if that's what you think, then you're living on Mars, right? Like that's just not happening. One of those wealth building is just teaching people it's not as hard as you think. I'm really well known because I own a lot of like treasury bills, bonds, like government securities, which are so simple for people to start, like $100, because investing is like a muscle, right? You have to practice it. We all didn't grow up with education around money, right? And we all have a different story that, we think is our truth, but really isn't the truth. So that passion, and I also teach for KW Wealth, and I travel around different market centers or regions to teach about wealth. And I think a lot of it is I want to make sure people understand, like, you can start with $100. And guess what? If you're investing $100 versus the person next to you who isn't, like, you're way ahead of them, because we all know agents who make, we'll just say, $1 million. But guess what? When they spend $900,000 of it and they don't save anything, it doesn't matter, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's all fun until you're 90 having to try to sell a house. Like, it's not fun. And so I think a lot of people get this thing. It's like, I don't make enough money. Okay, well, saving $100 a month is better than the person not saving $100 a month. I know a lot of agents who have made a lot of money and have nothing to show for it.
Mm.